Hello, welcome to some reading time with Mrs. Cook. Our focus for today is going to be working on a keyword summary while we are reading to help us understand the text and comprehend what we are reading. So this is similar to some strategies that we have done already where we've been doing some STP, we've been doing some 5-finger retell. So today should be a little bit of a review, and then I will model how to use the strategy in a text that you're going to read, and then you will get to try it on your own. I'm going to move myself to the lower right hand corner here to show you our strategy card. So like I mentioned before, our strategy this week is going to be keyword summary. So what we're going to do in this is we're going to read a couple pages, and then we're going to think about what we read. And we're going to decide what were the most important words to describe what happened on that page. So this goes back to kind of our work too, where we worked on the main idea, where we only want to give the information that is needed, not that extra fluff as we call it. I am going to bring up the text that you are going to read today, so that way I can model this strategy to you, and that way you know exactly what is expected from you. Now, when we finish this book, you will need to log into Literacy Footprints. And once you get under your name, what you're going to do is you're going to find the book Cars Get Smart. This book was really interesting to read for me as well. I think you're going to enjoy it. So it talks a lot about how they are working to create a self-driving car. And a big thing that they talk about is how they need to get it for safety at this point in time. So when you do find this book, you're going to find that it is just like our nonfiction text, where this is our table of contents. Cars Get Smart, the table of contents. So how do driverless cars work? Will we be safer? Who will use a self-driving car? And then you have your glossary and your index at the end. Now, we have reviewed the glossary and index, and I want you to use that glossary when you come to some of those bold words that you're not quite sure what they mean. So as I flip the page, these are 2 pages here together. I'm going to read those, model the strategy, and then you will be able to do your own. So how do driverless cars work? You'll see this has a heading. It's very important that you read the heading so you know what it's going to be about. It has your main idea usually in it. So imagine you could ride to school or a friend's house in a car without an adult driving you. Imagine a car that is smart enough to drive itself. Some people believe that in the near future, there will be self-driving cars that can quickly pick up and drop off passengers. Many companies are spending billions of dollars to develop autonomous or self-driving cars. Just like there was a race to be the first to the moon, automakers around the world are racing to be the first to create a safe self-driving car. Now, I've read these 2 pages. I really need to reflect and think about what I read. So this is where I'm going to go back to my card. And what were the most important words? So the big thing that stands out to me that we were reading about in that case was self-driving cars. I'm going to write that here. It also talked a lot about that they want something to be safe, because people aren't going to want to drive a car that is not safe. And now there is a big race between the companies to get the first car out here. So one thing that came to mind was like inventing it or creating, because they're working on that as we speak. So now as I look back at this, I know that I can add a little more detail whenever I would get to my writing to say that they are in the process, or companies are in the process of creating or inventing some self-driving cars. Their big concern right now is creating a car that is going to be safe for everyone. Now, after I fill out these 3 keywords, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on and I'm going to do my reading. If you look back on its learning page, you will see the pages that you need to stop to create some keywords. It'll say like pages 4 and 5. So read both of those pages, find 3 keywords, and then you can continue on reading. Now it's important that you really find the main idea because this is going to help you with your writing tomorrow. Enjoy the book, and I'm excited to hear about what you learned about these new cards that they're trying to create. Bye.